Brennan, unfair question, but I must ask. If you had $5 billion and you wanted to help the corridor from Kapolei to downtown, would you be able to streamline traffic? Or is $5 billion not enough?
Oh, God, when we looked at the highways modernization program, we have about a $7 billion gap over the next 25 years statewide.
Statewide, okay.
Statewide.
I'm just talking about
So in Honolulu,
West.
we'd be able to do some pretty good stuff. One of our projects for Oahu as a part of the modernization is to build the Nimitz flyover, which would add 2 lanes of capacity.
Was that Panos' idea or was that your idea?
No, we've actually started the EIS way back in the 90s, and it's never really moved anywhere. And we tried to get it going when we first started in 2005, but just the sheer cost of it, it's about $250 million per mile. And so it's about 2.5 miles that we'd have to build. So we're looking at a sizable chunk of change that we just can't afford to do in our normal program. And so that's something that the Highways Modernization Program would have been able to help address. And when you think of adding 2 more lanes into the urban core, that's a significant amount of capacity. And we would be able to do a reverse flow. So 2 lanes in the morning, coming into town, 2 lanes going out into the afternoon. So, and that would obviously tie then into the contraflow that we have on the H1 already.
Would you take a stab at the impact then of the mass transit, the train that's being?
We would, that would obviously have to work hand in hand. Rail transit would simply be an alternative or an option that people could choose. Rail transit, I don't think, was meant to solve congestion because transit, you might get 5% to 8%, if you're lucky, of the ridership. And that still leaves the bulk of people
but congestion
moving
is
on
the
our
issue.
roads.
I know my colleagues from that area in the House keep saying it took me an hour and a half, it took me 2 hours to get into town. If we don't solve congestion, is that frustration to remain?
It's going to keep, I think the frustration is going to keep building if you don't provide options and relief. But building more roads is not going to be the solution because the more roads you build, the more you encourage people to drive. And that just is going to create more congestion. So a real solution is really the commitment to Kapolei as a second city and have people have a true employment center out in Kapolei so that people don't always have to live on the outskirts and drive into town. You want to have employment opportunities spread out across the island in multiple locations so that people can be driving in different directions. So I think once you start seeing, you see it today when UH is not in session, there's a big difference in traffic, and that's because everyone's not coming into town at the same time. If you make that commitment to Kapolei, you put employment out there, you put UH West Oahu out there, and actually have it as a true 4-year university, you will see the change in transportation directions and having people drive out to the west side rather than everybody driving into town. So I think just that alone, the proper development of Kapolei, providing professional job opportunities, not just service-oriented jobs, but taking out the business community, professional engineers, accounting, banking. You take a lot of that out there as well as a lot of the academics in high tech. Now you're starting to talk about tremendous amount of relief on our roadways.
So it'll take time.
It's going to take time.
And as of tomorrow, Mike Formby, you will be the new director of the Department of Transportation. Is everything that your successor or predecessor has said going to be implemented between now and December? Is it December 6th when the Lingle administration?
December 6th, right. No, it's impossible. We've got initiatives ongoing that are going to be 15-year, 20-year initiatives. So the airport's modernization plan, the harbor's modernization plan, especially the harbor's modernization plan in its infancy, just going out for bonds, that's probably a 15 to 20-year program. So the key right now, and my mission, I think in the next 2.5 months, is first to keep us focused on our operational mission. So running the 15 commercial airports, 10 commercial harbors, highways. And second, making sure that the modernization plans are far enough along that we hand them off to the next administration and they keep them going.
Speaking of which, everybody's very sensitive to the 20 world leaders, 20 economies coming in the APEC November 12,
Right.
13, 14. Are we going to be able to show the world that we're ready to step on the world stage and be proud and not embarrassed in terms of our infrastructure, wiki buses or otherwise? Is the airport going to be ready?
Yeah, we definitely are a part of that, and we just had a discussion this morning about coming up with the funds to make sure that we do what we have to do at the airport to have a world-class facility. We obviously can't make all the changes that need to be made to impress all the visitors that are coming, but there are some key projects that we can make progress, and there's other things we can do just to beautify the airport and the route that they take down to the university in Waikiki.
Case in point, is there anywhere in the airport, is there anywhere that in the airport I cannot open my BlackBerry or my other Wi-Fi dependent, say a laptop, and not get a signal? I was at a place in the mainland in San Diego, and I went into the farthest dungeon and I got Wi-Fi just instantly. Is the airport going to be where these people can open their thing and they can get instant contact, or is that?
Well, the airport does already have free Wi-Fi.
And it's thorough? I mean, it's not a weak one, it's strong?
I don't know if we have it everywhere where if you go into the deepest, darkest crevices of the airport that you still get signal, but whenever I travel and I'm at the airport with my laptop, I always have no problem with the fairly strong signal. So it is available. You know, in terms of some of the international travelers coming in, their experience is going to be much more improved because we have built the new international arrivals corridor from the EVA concourse. We've already opened it up to gate 26, which is where JAL flies out of. But by the end of October, the entire EVA concourse will have opened up for the new international arrivals corridor. It's air conditioned. There's moving walkways.
Moving walkways.
Moving walkways. A lot of great art in there. So it is a tremendous experience. It's something that we'll be able to get off of most of our Wiki buses. We operate 14 right now. With the opening of the entire corridor, we'll be able to get rid of 8 of them. So there'll still be some areas where
when will that be?
End of October of this year.
Like next month?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. That's good news.
You want to come?
I mean, those of you who want to take your last Wiki bus ride, you got to get out the airport. That's going to be the majority of those eliminated within a matter of weeks.
A good part of it. We'll still have a little less, maybe 40% of the fleet that we're still going to have to operate for, like the Diamond Head Concourse and stuff. But for the most part, you know, the EVA side with a lot of our international flights, which has probably the majority of our international flights, especially from Asia, does fly into there, and they'll be able to experience it. And we've gotten a lot of very good feedback from our tour operators from Asia, a lot of our Japanese tour companies, as well as the airlines. And so they're very happy with the progress we've made. We're going to be trying to make improvements, modest improvements to the international arrivals facility, where you come in and go through immigrations and customs. At least spruce it up a little bit, maybe throw in some art, some Hawaiian art, so that they can get a flavor of some of our culture.
That's where the charm offensive begins.
Yes, and so, but you know, when you look at the airport's modernization plan at Honolulu International, it really is a long-term, you know, plan. It's a 15 to 20-year plan where you're actually going to get almost a brand new airport in place while we're operating one of the most busiest airports in the world. And so we're going to start construction probably in early 2011 with the Mauka Concourse. We've already awarded the contract for some of the site work, so that's going to be starting to happen fairly soon. That's going to be a new Mauka Concourse. It's the first new concourse that the airport has built in almost 2 decades, and I think, you know, the age of the airport has been showing it. But we're gonna knock down the existing EVA concourse and build a brand new one. We're gonna knock down the existing Diamond Head concourse where United flies out of, build a brand new one.
Will it be user friendly? Because, you know,
absolutely.
People are saying now, rather than sometimes fly, I'm going to drive there because I don't want to go through the hassle of the security, the bags, and all the other. Don't park here, get away, and it's like it's not a friendly place. Before airports were kind of friendly, and now they're sort of just get in, get out.
Yeah.